Stranger, there is no need to ask for the way. You have arrived. But I cannot give you food and shelter, though they called me rich and hospitable man. Those who sent you to look for my house have not come this way for a long time, so they do not know the story I will tell you. I am a peasant. I worked my fields and my orchard. I grew timber and I raised cattle. I served my God and he served me. No lightning touched my house, no floods destroyed my fields, no droughts burned my pastures. My crops were growing, even in the bad year when so many had to leave their farms. My cattle was fertile and untouched by disease. That was because I served my God. I gave him the first of every crop. There was always milk in his bowl. There was always incense burning before him on feast days. Every year, at the first day, I bought a new set of clothes for him, silk clothes and embroidered with gold and new ornaments. I bought them with all the money I did not need to keep myself alive and to offer hospitality to friends and strangers. I served my God well, and he served me well. I spoke to him as men speak to their gods, and he answered me. But there was one thing, always one thing I could not tell him, hard as I tried. He would not understand because there were no words to say it with in his language. And that was the most important thing in the world, the thing I could not tell my God. I was sleepless by night and without rest by day, because I was longing for something I could not even pray for to my God. My fruit trees were bearing fruit, my timber grew strong, my cattle multiplied, my fields were yielding hundredfold. I was praised as a good husbandman, and envied as a lucky one by my neighbors. And I was sick at heart. I was sick with longing for what I could not even pray for to my God. One day I found words. Maybe I found them just as you find things by the road. Maybe they came from somewhere addressing me and I only repeated them. I do not know. But I know they were the language of a God. A new God was calling me, or maybe I was calling him. And I knew in his language there would be words for the telling I could not pray for to my God. Like two echoes calling each other, we spoke together, the new God and I. And our voices grew stronger, not fainter, as do the voices of two echoes calling each other. And I said to myself, I will speak more to this new God. Perhaps I can serve him, and he will serve me and still my longing. And the new God answered to the words I spoke secretly to myself. He answered at night when my old God was asleep, and he answered in his language, which the old God could not understand. And this was his answer. You must gather your crops, whether it is their time or not. You must cut down all your trees, whether they are fruit trees or timber. And you must bring the sheaves and the fruit and the timber into your house and stack them as in a barn. You must kill all your cattle and bring the carcasses into the house. You must leave in your house your bed, your chairs and your tables and your boxes and all your tools, and do not forget to collect as well the tools that may be lying around in the fields, and all the things you made or bought in the market, and all your dresses, even the one you are wearing now, and your sandals. You must put all that belongs to you into the house. And you must cut through the ridge of your roof and let the rafters fall down. And on top of the ruined house, on top of the pile of all your belongings, you must set your God and all the lesser gods you have sometimes worshipped in secrecy. Then you must set fire to your house and burn it all. The house, the crops, all the cattle, all that belongs to you, your God and all the lesser gods. Then, when you have burned your God and all the lesser gods on a pyre made of all your belongings, then I can help you and still the longing for which there are no words in your old God's language. I was frightened. Who would not be frightened when he was told, go burn all your belongings, burn your God, the God you served and who served you? And I had never seen or touched the new God. I only knew his voice. And I even did not know whether it was not only the echo of my own voice. How could I know whether he would keep his promise if I did what he told me to do? I sat down and cried, all my fields, all my orchards, my woods and my cattle, and my house which I built myself, and all the things in it which are made with much labor or bought for much money in the market. Was I not happy to own you? And you, my old God whom I served, did you not serve me well? Did you not look beautiful in the silk and gold embroidered dress I bought for you every year? Did it not warm my heart to see you in it, smiling and content? Was it not a pleasure to bring you the first of my fruit and my sheaves, and to fill your bowl with milk? Was it not sweet to smell the incense I burned for your pleasure? Shall I now burn you and your beautiful dress and all the ornaments together with all my belongings, for which I prayed to you and which you protected? Shall I be called ungrateful? Shall I be called cruel? Oh, my poor old God, how can I do this to you? And I cried aloud to the new God, you cannot ask me to do this unless you give your promise to help. And the new God answered and said in his language, I promise nothing. I did not ask you to do anything. I said, if you do these things, I can help you. The thing you see in the market does not ask to be bought. You must pay the price if you want it. Maybe when you bring it home, you find you do not want it because it will not serve you. And I stood up and shouted at the new God, do promise. I will not burn my God unless you promise. And there came the voice of the new God faintly as from far away. I did not ask you to burn the old God. Go away. Be content. You have all that men pray for. Go, serve your God, and sing your longing in the street. The passers-by will throw you pieces of silver. These were the last words that God spoke to me. I have collected my crops. So much of it was not yet ripe. I've cut down my trees, the fruit trees, and the timber. I slaughtered all my cattle. All that was mine, I piled up in my house. From their hiding place, I brought the lesser gods I had sometimes worshipped. For all the money I possessed, I bought a new dress and new ornaments for the old god, and set him on top of the pyre. And I thought, now all will be burned, nothing shall be left. But I and the God who will give no promise. Thus I will force the new God to help me. And the new God answered my unspoken thought and said in his language, I cannot be forced. Whatever you do, there is no promise. It was night now. In my right hand I held a flaming torch made of a branch of my favorite peach tree. There was no sound, no kettle was blowing in the empty fields, no leaves were rustling in the trees I cut down. The birds and the wild things had left, and I stood before the pyre and spoke to the new God. You God, who will not give a promise, I shall now burn my old God, and the lesser gods are secretly collected, and I do not care anymore what you will do. I shall serve you, whether you want it or not, and I am stronger than you, for I shall love you, and you cannot hinder me. Then I set fire to my belongings and to the old God, and turned around and sat down and forgot to watch them burning. Since then I sit here. Sometimes the wind blows ashes over me from behind. Maybe one morning I shall meet the new God and see and touch him. I'm naked. I have no shelter. I have no food. Unless I meet the new God, I shall die. It will be better than to be rich, to have everything men pray for, and to be sick with longing for something you cannot even pray for. Stranger, this is all I can tell you. This is why I cannot give you food and shelter. I, a peasant who was called rich and content and hospitable by his neighbors. May your own God bless you.